Falls City in unincorporated King County on 356 Drive. We have a slide area there that we've been monitoring for a number of years, and we know it's a problem area. We've been monitoring it throughout this storm, and within the last day or so, we've begun to see some real movement in the roadway. And as a consequence, we've sent out a message to about 56 homeowners who are up from that road, which is a sole access road, that they may want to voluntarily evacuate. We don't see a slide happening right now, but it's a possibility for us to have a slide. So we're notifying homeowners to give them a chance to get out, and we're going to continue monitoring this area. We have a soil expert coming in tomorrow to do some test borings, but in an abundance of caution, we really wanted to get ahead of this and notify homeowners and give them the chance to get out before anything happens, were it to happen. I've also got Rick Broder here, who's the director of the Road Services Division, who can answer questions. And I want to introduce Councilmember Kathy Lambert, who represents this part of unincorporated King County.
Thank you very much. I just wanted to say how important it is that we get information very transparently to our constituents so they can voluntarily make decisions about what's best for their families and their safety. We have excellent employees here, both through the Department of Local Services and the Roads Department, and they are doing an excellent job under some very unusual circumstances. And I think that it's important that people know that not only now are we dealing with the damage from the flooding, but as the roads dry, we will also see some shifting and some things that will be changing. So this is an ongoing situation that we need to monitor and make sure people are safe. And so please do abide by all of the signs and detours and listen to our experts who are there for you to make sure we are all safe. Thank you.
Got anything to add, Rick?
Hi, Rick Broder, Division Director for Road Services. So as John mentioned, this is an evolving situation, and we wanted to just make sure as we saw movement in the roadway that we made sure the residents were aware of the situation. It is a sole access road, and that's what has really made us concerned that should this road go, those homes would be cut off and not able to evacuate at this time. So with that, we'll answer questions.
You mentioned problem area, an area you guys are familiar with. Have there been any steps in the past to strengthen, reinforce, or fix the road?
Yeah, we've had a history of making repairs in this area. What's different today is the amount of movement we're seeing, and what's different is with all the water that's moving through the groundwater, that we're concerned that we could see some major shift here, which we haven't seen in the past.
So slow moving now, but it could change quickly.
Yeah, right now it's hard to predict.
Other questions?
How long have you been monitoring it?
Well, we certainly have been monitoring it closely for the last week as the storm hit, and we have several areas that we watch, and this was one of them.
What does the monitoring look like? Do you use satellites or on the ground?
It's on the ground monitoring. It's folks that go out and check to see if they've seen any movement in the area, any new cracks that have formed, any kind of shifting in the ground. So our staff are very familiar with this area, so they kind of go through a routine area checklist as they go through there and see what's going on.
The pictures I've seen from my colleague is a pretty long crack in the road. Did it kind of start small at one area, or was it kind of like an overnight thing where someone came out and it was like boom?
So there's two things going on. There's a crack kind of down the center line, not quite, and so that portion of the road is shifting, but also the whole road segment is in the slide area. So it's turning a little bit, and the whole road is settling a little bit. So that's what gives us great concern.
In the history of this road, has it ever been completely kind of wiped out before?
No, there's a ancient large landslide on the other side of the valley, and there's just an area there that has shown slides in the past.
How long does an event like this play out?
I think right now what we want to do is just monitor and see if this is going to continue to move at the rate it is, or if it's going to slow down as the groundwater moves through the soil. So right now we just want to make sure that everybody's aware of the situation and that we're addressing it as best we can.
What's the risk if they stay in their homes?
The risk right now is there's not a viable evacuation route, And so should it slide and should it be a large slide, then they would be cut off.
Have you guys been in contact with the National Guard or the Sheriff's Department on that case scenario?
Yes, the sheriff is fully engaged in this whole effort. They're up in the community now. Right now, their role is just to help people get out if they want to get out, help facilitate traffic, and communicate with folks as they move out.
What's the danger, even though it stopped raining? Is that kind of a false sense of?
The danger is that there's a large amount of groundwater moving through the county, and that's what kicks off large slides, is this groundwater. And so although the rain has stopped, we're still into this next 2 to 3 weeks where this movement of water is moving through, and those are the things that we're very concerned about.
I guess, looking at this, the weather we've had in the last, week or so, how does this compare to previous years? Are you guys busier with this stretch?
Yeah, this has been a pretty monumental event. I mean, the Cedar River has gone to stage 4, which is, I think, since the 1990s it's been at stage 4. We've seen all over the county, record rainfalls. We've had the month of January, which was wet, and then we had this storm on top of it, and that was kind of the last straw.
Any other areas you're looking at?
Well, we're monitoring areas all across the unincorporated area. This is just one that came up as a concern to us.
Are you getting cooperation from the people who live there?
I think right now we're just initiating the whole process, and so I'm sure we're going to be very engaged with the community through the next few days.
Now, I know you said you've been monitoring for about a week or so. Was it a neighbor who initially spotted, or was it one of your crews?
It's a combination. So the community up there is very aware of this location, and so they're certainly communicating out anything that they see. At the same time, we have staff up there always checking throughout, and it's a 24-hour effort.
This seems like such a
Is this-
touch-and-go situation for people in that area right now, as well as for you guys. Is there a specific message that you would like to get out to the community?
I think the message is we want to err on the safe side, and we want to make sure people are aware of what's going on, and that from this point on, we can't predict what's going to happen, but there's a situation at hand that they need to pay attention to and make a decision for themselves whether they should leave their house or stay, and that there is not another way out should there be a large slide.
Now, worst case scenario, say the road becomes, you can't drive on it.
Mhm.
How long would it take to get something like that back on?
That's what the effort is right now, is to really see how big an effort it is. We need to do some analysis, and then from that we'll see. But this is a larger slide area. This is not a very small localized area. So this whole road segment is moving, and so with that, we're concerned there could be a larger slide.
Now, right now, people can't drive on this, given.
It is open. People can go back and forth, so people can get out. We haven't closed the road to all traffic yet, but what we're saying is that we're monitoring this heavily. If we see a significant amount of movement, then we would have to close the road, and then people would be landlocked.
I want to talk about the budget.
Okay, so what you might see here is that over the past week, the storm impacting across the county is around 10 million, maybe between $5 and $10 million in costs. So to give you an idea for King County roads, which may not seem like a lot of money, but for us, our entire capital program for the year is $30 million. So that's a third, it could be a third of our total capital program that we will have to use to help pay for this storm from 1 week's effort.
Any federal help that you're going to look for, state help?
Yeah, we are definitely going through the process of working with both FEMA and FHWA to see what kind of financial relief they might provide.
Is this Mother Nature just fighting us on, even if you improved it, it's just Mother Nature doesn't care and she's going to throw a bomb
Yeah,
at it?
well, I don't know. I don't know exactly what Mother Nature's thinking, but I would just.
I mean, this wasn't a weak road before, but I mean, it's in a.
This is in a large, long-time slide area, and so it's certainly something that we've been dealing with on a minor level for years. However, given the amount of water, given the nature of what's happened the last week, we're seeing some changes that we have not seen in the past.
Now, I know this is still just happening right now. Are you aware of any people who've actually decided to evacuate?
I don't know what level of response we have right now.
I apologize if this has already been asked. I know it's so unpredictable, but would there be a good window of time if people did want to leave? Is it
right now is the best time. There's another storm coming in the later part of this week, so this is by far the best time to leave.
Are you gonna increase the monitoring of it? If it stays?
You know, we've been monitoring it quite heavily, so I don't know if we need to increase it beyond what we're doing right now. So I think we're fully in tune with what's going on with the slide.
Can you say and spell your name again?
It's Rick Broder, Brater.
And your title?
I am the Division Director for Road Services Division.
Thank you, Rick.
Okay, we have any last questions? Okay, thank you guys. You guys have my card, you should have it for the closer follow-up.
Nice job.
Thank you.
Brent
Thank you.
Champaco, myself, or
I like how you
Brock
put it in
Bender can help
perspective.
you.
This week it cost us
Follow-ups
a
and
third of our budget.
Mhm.
That's significant.
Yeah.
Significant.
Hi.
Can I interview one-on-one real quick, just like one or two questions?
No one ever wants to talk to us.
I know, that's all right. We know what they say about pretty face. That's both of us.